The universe has brought this message to you tonight through the one messenger that never deceives you, your own body. Right now, as you listen or read, something is already shifting inside you in a way your mind has not fully understood yet. Maybe it is a soft warmth in your chest that started days ago and never fully left. Maybe it is a strange heaviness in your hands that has no clear reason. Maybe it is that sensation in your stomach that moves like a slow wave, rising and falling again and again. It appears without warning, fades for a moment, then returns as if it never left. You have tried to explain it, tried to ignore it, tried to label it as nothing. But it keeps coming back. And here is something important. Your body is not confused. It is communicating. And what it is trying to say may be something your mind has not yet accepted. You did not come across this by accident. You did not land here at a random moment. Something deeper than curiosity guided you here. Something inside you recognized this feeling before your thoughts could even form words around it. There is a reason for that. Your body has been holding onto a truth for a long time, even while your thoughts kept pushing it away. Your mind keeps asking for logic, for proof, for something solid to hold on to. But your body does not work in logic. It works in truth. And tonight, that truth is beginning to rise again. Take a slow breath. Let your shoulders drop. Stay with this moment. There is nothing here to fear, only something you have been feeling for a long time without fully naming it. And yes, keep listening, because this is where it starts to feel even more real. This message is for the one who has been noticing small signals but calling them meaningless, the one who wonders if they are overthinking, the one who keeps questioning their own feelings. Your body already knows something your mind has not fully accepted yet. It knows this connection is not fully closed. It knows something is still active beneath the surface, even if everything on the outside looks quiet and normal. Same routine, same days, same responsibilities. Nothing appears different in the outer world. But inside you, something has been moving. That pressure in your chest when this person comes to mind. That sudden warmth that shows up without warning. Those moments when your body reacts before you even understand why. A deep breath that happens on its own. A stillness that suddenly takes over your whole system. You notice it, then question it, then try to move on. But it returns again. Because the body often reacts before the mind can explain. It senses shifts long before thoughts can organize them. And your body has been doing exactly that for a long time now. It remembers what felt real. It remembers emotional presence, shared moments, unspoken understanding. Not just events, but feelings. Not just memories, but energy. That is why some moments still feel alive inside you even when time has passed. That is why letting go has not felt fully complete. Something in you still responds, still reacts, still recognizes. And here is the part most people miss. When the body keeps responding, it is because something inside still feels unfinished. Stay with this, because it goes deeper than you think. And while you are sitting here with these thoughts, something similar may also be happening on their side. Maybe they cannot explain it either. Maybe they have been feeling moments of restlessness they cannot name. Days that feel normal on the surface but different underneath. A sudden thought that interrupts them. A memory that appears without warning. A strange pause in the middle of ordinary moments. Even reaching for something like their phone without knowing why. It is not always conscious. It is not always planned. But it happens. Because certain connections do not fully disappear just because distance grows. Their body also remembers. It remembers comfort. It remembers ease. It remembers the feeling of being understood without effort. And those imprints do not erase quickly. Sometimes a sound brings it back. Sometimes a place triggers it. Sometimes a small detail opens a memory they thought was gone. For a brief moment, everything feels clear again. Then life continues, but the feeling stays underneath. And that is what makes it hard to fully ignore. There are moments when something feels missing, but they cannot explain what it is. Moments when silence feels louder than expected. Moments when emotions rise without a clear reason. And even if they try to move forward, something inside still reacts in quiet ways. Not loud, not dramatic, just present, persistent, and slowly becoming harder to ignore. You are not imagining the intensity of this. You are simply becoming aware of what was already there beneath the surface. And if you are still here listening, then something in you already understands more than you are saying out loud. Your body is not just carrying you through life, it is carrying memory, awareness, and signals your mind often overlooks. Lately, those signals have been stronger. You feel them in ordinary moments, washing your hands, sitting alone, walking without distraction. Everything seems normal, then suddenly something inside you shifts. A quiet pause, a feeling that cannot be explained easily, a sense that something is happening beyond what you can see. Not loud, not obvious, but real in the way it is felt. Your mind tries to label it, but your body simply experiences it, and that is why it stays with you. Because the body does not argue, it does not invent stories, it responds. And when it keeps responding to the same emotional imprint again and again, it is because something in you is still active, still connected, still unresolved in its own quiet way. The space between you and this person may look like distance on the outside, but your inner experience does not always match what your eyes see. Inside, something still moves, something still reacts, something still remembers, and the more you notice it, the harder it becomes to dismiss. This is not about forcing meaning. It is about recognizing what your own system has been trying to show you for a long time, and now it is getting louder in a very quiet way. Not through fear, not through anxiety, but through a quiet kind of awareness. And maybe you have started noticing something else too. Something inside you feels different now. Not louder, not more intense, but stronger in a calmer way. There is a real difference in that. Earlier, this connection may have felt heavy, even painful at times. It may have lived in waiting, in overthinking, in the constant need to understand what was happening. It may have shown up as sudden sadness or tears that came without warning. It may have pulled you into checking, searching, wondering, replaying, asking yourself again and again what they think, what they feel, what went wrong, what could change. But now something is shifting. The feeling is still there, yes, but it is not the same weight anymore. It feels softer in a strange way, more settled, more grounded inside your chest, like a storm that is still present but no longer breaking everything apart. You still care. That has not disappeared. But your body is learning something new, how to hold that care without drowning in it. And that change is not small, because when your system stops resisting what it feels, something opens, space appears. Clarity starts to enter slowly, almost silently, and if you are really paying attention, you can feel it beginning right now. Stay with this. It goes deeper than it looks. And maybe you have also noticed changes in yourself that are harder to explain. The urgency is not the same anymore. The panic is not the same anymore. The constant emotional pull that once felt overwhelming has started to lose its sharp edges. You are not reacting in the same way you used to. The tightness in your chest does not stay as long. The sadness does not sit on you as heavily. Emotions still come, but they move differently now, like waves passing through instead of crashing over you. You feel them, you acknowledge them, but they do not fully take control anymore. Something in you has learned how to stay present even while feeling. And that is a quiet kind of strength many people never notice in themselves. You are still connected to what you felt, but you are no longer being controlled by it. And that shift matters more than it seems. Because when your body stops fighting emotions, it stops creating extra suffering around them. And slowly, clarity begins to rise on its own. Not forced, not rushed, just appearing in small moments. A calmer breath, a quieter mind, a pause where chaos used to be. And yes, your body already knows more than your thoughts are ready to admit. It has been adjusting in silence this entire time. Keep listening, because this part is important. There is another layer to this change that you may not have fully noticed yet. You are no longer holding on in the same desperate way. Something inside you has loosened, not in a way of giving up, but in a way of releasing pressure. The need to control every thought, every outcome, every possibility has started to fade. And with that, something unexpected happens. Fear begins to lose its grip. Because most of the intensity was never just love or connection alone, it was fear mixed into it. Fear of losing, fear of not knowing, fear of being stuck in uncertainty. But now, your system is starting to separate those layers. What is real feeling and what is fear trying to protect? And as that separation happens, peace starts to grow in the background. You might even notice your body behaving differently. You sleep in a deeper way sometimes. Your breathing feels less tight. Your posture feels more natural, less strained, less forced. It is as if your body is remembering how to exist without constant emotional tension. And this is not coincidence. When internal pressure reduces, the body naturally reorganizes itself. It finds balance again. You are not becoming less sensitive. You are becoming more stable inside your sensitivity. And that is a completely different state of being. One that feels calmer, even if it is unfamiliar at first. And here is something your mind may resist at first, but your body already understands. Releasing the need is not the same as losing the connection. The feeling does not disappear just because the pressure around it changes. Love, care, memory. These do not rely on panic to exist. They exist in deeper places, and when fear steps back, those deeper layers become more visible. You may still think about them sometimes. You may still feel echoes of emotion when something reminds you, but it does not break you the same way anymore. It passes through instead of pulling you under. And that is why this shift feels so powerful, because it is not about ending anything inside you. It is about changing the way it lives within you. Your system is no longer shrinking around the feeling. It is expanding around it, making space for both presence and peace at the same time. And as strange as it may feel, this is exactly what emotional growth often looks like from the inside. Not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet rearranging of how you experience everything. And somewhere in this process, without you forcing it, something inside you is starting to settle into trust again. Not trust in a person, but trust in yourself. And that changes everything. And feelings often speak a language that goes deeper than words. Your body has been using that language all along, even when your mind was busy trying to explain everything. The signs have been subtle, almost hidden in plain sight. You may have noticed shifts in your dreams. Not every night, but enough times that they stay in your memory. Dreams where this person appears again and again. Dreams where no clear conversation happens, yet everything feels understood. Dreams that leave a strange emotional echo after you wake up, like something followed you back from sleep into your day. And that feeling does not fully fade quickly. It stays with you, quietly shaping your mood, your thoughts, your inner state. Maybe there have been other moments too. A sudden warmth rising in your hands for no clear reason. A soft tingling sensation in your palms that comes and goes. A wave of emotion that arrives without warning, as if something inside you shifted for a second. A small shiver moving through your body even when nothing around you has changed. And sometimes tears appear without explanation, not heavy tears, not breaking tears, but meaningful ones. Like something inside you is being recognized instead of destroyed, like a memory without images, like a feeling that says, "I know this," without needing words. Stay with this, because it goes deeper than it seems. Maybe you walked past a place tied to memory, and your body reacted before your mind even caught up. A small pause, a slight stillness, a shift in breathing you did not plan. Or maybe you heard their name unexpectedly and something inside you responded instantly. A quick change in your chest, a soft tightening, or a sudden warmth spreading through you. These reactions happen before thought arrives. That is important, because the body does not wait for permission from logic. It reacts instantly to what it recognizes. Your mind then tries to catch up, tries to explain, tries to label it as coincidence or imagination. But your body already responded first, and that response carries meaning in its own language. The body remembers what felt important. It remembers emotional intensity, presence, connection, even silence filled with meaning. It does not store things like a story with words. It stores them like sensation, like energy, like imprint. That is why certain moments do not leave you easily. Not because you are stuck, but because your system recorded something real in its own way. And that is why sometimes you feel a quiet knowing inside you, even when your thoughts are uncertain. A steady feeling that does not fully disappear, a calm recognition that stays in the background, even when doubt comes and goes. Keep listening, because this part is very important for understanding yourself. Your mind and your body do not always speak the same language. Your mind asks questions, it searches, it doubts, it tries to find certainty before it believes anything. It wants clear proof, clear answers, clear direction. But your body works differently. Your body responds before explanation. It tightens when something feels unsafe. It relaxes when something feels right. It opens and expands when something feels familiar or meaningful. That is its natural intelligence. And over time, through this experience, your body has continued to respond in ways that are consistent, even when your thoughts were not. Even through confusion, even through distance, even through emotional waves, something inside you kept reacting the same way. Not loudly, not dramatically, but consistently. A quiet recognition, a subtle pull, a familiar response that appears again and again. And this is not about forcing meaning. It is about noticing what is already happening inside you. Because your intuition does not only live in your thoughts, it lives in your physical reactions, your breath, your chest, your stillness, your emotional shifts. Your body has been the honest part of you all along. It does not argue. It does not pretend. It simply responds. And in every stage of this journey, it has kept pointing you toward what feels real to you, even when your mind was unsure. And through all of this, something important has been growing inside you quietly. Strength. Not loud strength, not the kind that shows itself through control or force, but the quiet kind. The kind that forms in silence, in reflection, in emotional honesty. The kind that appears when you are alone with your thoughts and still choose to continue forward. The kind that shows up when your heart feels heavy, yet you still get through the day. The kind that exists when you feel deeply, but you no longer let that feeling destroy you. That strength has been building in the background, moment by moment. Every night you felt something deeply and did not run away from it. Every time you stayed with your emotions instead of shutting them down. Every time you allowed yourself to feel instead of avoiding. All of that was shaping something inside you, not visible on the outside, but very real within you. And now, slowly, you are beginning to notice a shift, a softer inner space, a calmer breath, a quieter reaction to things that once felt overwhelming. This is not emptiness. This is integration. This is your system learning how to hold emotion without being consumed by it. And yes, that matters more than you think, because it changes everything about how you move forward from here. A feeling of ease, a feeling of nearness, something that feels like it is coming from a deeper place than what your eyes can see. Or maybe it arrives as lightness, like a weight you didn't even realize you were carrying slowly loosens and drops away. You might notice your heart feels less pressured. Your thoughts are not running in circles as much. Your breathing becomes smoother, softer, almost natural again. And for a moment, you are not searching, not analyzing, not trying to decode everything. You are just here, fully present in this moment. And that is what inner knowing feels like. It does not rush. It does not push. It does not chase anything. It simply stays quiet inside you, steady and sure. Maybe your hands will feel different too, almost more open, more alive, as if they are remembering a state of ease that was there before overthinking took over. As if your body is quietly preparing itself for something your mind has not fully pictured yet. Your heartbeat may also feel different, not racing, not slowing, just settling, more stable, more centered, like a rhythm that has finally found its natural flow again, a rhythm that feels familiar, even if you cannot explain why. You may try to reason with it at first, try to label it, try to dismiss it, but the feeling stays, because some truths do not enter through logic. They arrive through experience, through sensation, through something felt deep inside before it is ever understood. Stay with this, because it starts to reveal something important. And then, without warning, there may come a moment that feels almost ordinary on the outside. Nothing dramatic, nothing unusual, just a normal moment in a normal day. You could be making tea or coffee, you could be walking through a doorway, sitting in silence, driving without thinking too much, looking out of a window while your mind is somewhere else. And suddenly, everything inside you becomes still. Not because the world changed, but because something within you shifted. A quiet pause spreads through your entire system. A sense of awareness rises from somewhere deep, not formed by thoughts, not built from analysis, just appearing, whole and complete. A simple inner knowing, no words attached to it, no need for proof, no need for explanation, just presence, just clarity in its quietest form. And in that moment, something inside you understands without being told. You understand that change is already in motion, that something which felt stuck is no longer as stuck as it used to be. That movement has already begun in ways you cannot yet see clearly. It is not loud, it is not obvious, but it is real. And once you feel it, you cannot fully ignore it again. Keep watching, because this part often marks a turning point inside people. And in this shift, something else begins to feel different too. The distance that once felt heavy does not feel as fixed anymore. Not necessarily in physical terms, but in emotional space, in awareness, in timing, in readiness. Something softens in the way you experience it. The walls that once felt solid begin to feel less absolute. The silence that once felt permanent starts to feel lighter. The tension that once lived in uncertainty begins to fade at the edges. Even if nothing external has changed yet, something internal has already moved. And your body notices that before your mind does. Your body always notices first. That is why you sometimes feel changes before you can explain them. A shift in mood, a shift in emotion, a shift in inner stability. These are not random. They are signals. Small, quiet indicators that something is reorganizing itself beneath the surface. The mind often demands dates, proof, confirmation. But life does not always work in clear lines like that. The most important changes usually begin invisibly. They begin as feelings, as subtle awareness, as quiet certainty that grows stronger with time. And your body has been holding that kind of awareness all along, even when your thoughts were unsure, even when your doubts were loud, even when nothing made sense on the surface. The universe rarely announces change in a dramatic way. It does not always arrive with clear signs or loud events. More often, it whispers. It creates small shifts in how you feel. It places a quiet sense of certainty inside you without asking for attention. And those who are sensitive enough begin to notice it long before anything physically changes. Your body has been noticing. Your body has been responding. And maybe that is why these words feel familiar to you right now, even if you cannot explain why. Because some part of you already sensed this movement before it was ever put into words. A part of you already felt the shift beginning. A part of you already knew something was not staying the same. And now that awareness is slowly rising from your body into your thoughts, becoming clearer, becoming harder to ignore. Not as fear, not as confusion, but as a quiet recognition. Something is changing. Something is unfolding. And your system has already been preparing you for it in its own quiet way. And maybe what you are beginning to notice now is a feeling of comfort that does not feel forced. A sense of closeness that arrives quietly, as if it has always been there, but only now you are able to feel it clearly. Not through fear, not through confusion, but through awareness that is slowly becoming steady inside you. Or it may feel like lightness, like something heavy you did not fully realize you were carrying has finally started to loosen and fall away. You might catch yourself realizing that your heart feels less pressured than before. Your thoughts are not spinning as intensely. Your breathing is smoother, more natural, almost as if your body is remembering how to relax again. And for the first time in a while, you are not actively searching for meaning in every moment. You are simply existing in it, present, quiet, aware. And that state itself is a kind of knowing, because real knowing does not chase anything. It does not force answers. It does not panic for clarity. It simply settles inside you like something that has finally stopped resisting itself. Stay with this feeling, because this is where something important begins to shift within you. And you may even notice your body responding in subtle but meaningful ways. Your hands may feel different, more open, more relaxed, almost like they are returning to a natural state of ease, as if they are no longer holding invisible tension you never fully noticed before. Your heartbeat may also feel different, not in a dramatic way, but in a steady, grounded way. Not faster, not slower, just more balanced. Like a rhythm that is finally aligning itself again after being slightly out of sync for a long time. And you may not fully understand it at first. You may even question it. Try to analyze it. Try to explain it away as coincidence or imagination. But the feeling remains unchanged underneath all that thinking. Because some experiences do not depend on logic to exist. They are felt first, understood later, or sometimes never fully explained at all, only recognized as real within you. And that recognition is enough, because your body does not need arguments. It responds directly to what it experiences. And right now, it is beginning to settle into something quieter, something more stable. Keep listening, because this part often marks a deeper internal shift.